Hey guys, today I'm going to read one of my favorite stories, Beauty and the Beast. Long ago, there lived a rich merchant who had 3 sons and 3 daughters. Unfortunately, his sons were only interested in hunting and fishing, while his 2 eldest daughters were greedy and selfish. However, his youngest daughter was liked by everyone. Everyone called her Beauty. Not only was she very beautiful to look at, but she was the kindest person that anyone had ever met. One day, the merchant heard some terrible news. All the ships carrying his goods had sunk at sea in a storm, which left him with hardly any money. The whole family had to move from their grand house to a little cottage. While the merchant and his sons worked hard all day in the fields, his daughters stayed at home doing the housework. The 2 eldest daughters were very lazy and sat around doing nothing. Beauty, however, enjoyed her work around the cottage, happy to be helping her father in these difficult times. One morning, a letter arrived for the merchant. It said that one of his ships had not sunk and it was going to arrive at the port the following morning. "Maybe we're not so poor after all," said the merchant happily. With great excitement, he set off to meet his ship. Before he left, he asked his daughters what they would like as gifts. The eldest daughters asked for jewels and beautiful clothes, but Beauty, who didn't have any greedy bone in her body, simply asked for a single red rose. When the merchant got to the port, he found out that there was no ship coming in. Later that night, there was a huge storm, and the merchant lost his way. He saw lights in the distance. Getting closer, he realized that the lights shone from a castle. He rode up to the castle and knocked on the door. It creaked open. Inside, he found a roaring fire and food on the table, but only one plate. There was no one else around, so he sat down and ate. He ventured upstairs. One of the bedrooms was warm, with freshly ironed sheets laid out on the bed. "It's almost as if I was expected," thought the merchant before climbing into bed and falling fast asleep. When he awoke, he took a single rose from the garden for Beauty. Suddenly, out of the bushes, an ugly beast appeared. "You eat my food, sleep in my bed, and steal one of my roses?" The merchant told the beast it was for his daughter, Beauty. "Very well," the beast said. "You may leave if your daughter takes your place." Sadly, the merchant agreed that he had to let Beauty go. With a heavy heart, he waved her farewell as she set out for the beast's castle. When she got there, she found, to her great surprise, that the beast was very kind to her. He showed her around the castle and its beautiful grounds, and then took her to her room. The beast had made sure that all the books she'd like to read and all of the little ornaments she'd like to look at were there. There was even a magic mirror in which she could see her family back at home. "This beast may be ugly, but he is very considerate," thought Beauty. On that first evening, the beast came to eat supper with her. From then on, it was the same every morning. Beauty and the beast would have supper together after spending long days in the library reading or walking out in the grounds. Time passed. Then, one evening, Beauty looked into the mirror and saw her father was very ill. She begged the beast to allow her to go home and care for him. "Very well," said the beast, "but you must return here within a week. When you are ready to come back, put this ring on your dressing table at home, and I shall know you want to return here. If you don't do this within 1 week, I shall die." Beauty agreed, and when she woke up the next morning, she found herself in her own bed at home. She cared for her father day and night over the next few weeks, and soon 1 week had passed. Although her father was getting better, Beauty had been so busy she hadn't noticed how quickly the days had passed. One night, Beauty had a dream that the beast was lying dead by the side of the lake in his castle grounds. "I must go back to him," she thought. She put the ring he gave her on her dressing table, and the next morning found herself back in his castle. She ran down to the lake and was horrified to see that the beast was lying on the ground, barely alive. "Oh, beast," she cried, "I did not mean to stay away so long. Please come back to me. You were so good and kind." Then she kissed him. Suddenly, the beast changed right in front of her eyes. All signs of his ugliness had disappeared, and there was a handsome prince in his place. "Beauty, my love," explained the prince, "I had a spell cast on me many years ago that turned me into an ugly beast. The only way it could be broken was if a girl who loved me kissed me in spite of my ugliness." Beauty kissed him again and vowed that she would stay by his side forever. The happy couple rode to her father's house, where they were married. Then they journeyed back to the castle, where they lived in complete happiness for many years to come. The end, my friend. Thank you guys for listening.